There are three winners on London Chess Classic Open Category 2025. They are Pragnananda Ramesbabu, Vladimir Ivic, and Amit Ghani. In this position, I wanna show you the game between Pragnananda Ramesbabu against the Ukrainian Grandmaster Eldar Gazanov. In this game, Pragnananda accuracy is 98%. The game starts with d4. After knight f6 to control the center with his knight, Pragg push c4. After that, e6. Looks like Eldar Gazanov wants to play Neo-Indian defense. Pragnananda developed the knight to c3 and let Gazanov to play Neo-Indian, but in this position, Gazanov pushes d5. The game transposed into Queen's Gambit decline. Pawn take on d5, pawn take on d5. After that, bishop g5, pinning the knight. So, Gazanov developed his bishop to e7 and ready to castling kingside. Here, Pragg pushed e3, preparing to develop his bishop. After Gazanov castling kingside, Pragg developed his bishop to d3, and then rook e8, knight e2, preparing to castling kingside. Ghazani developed his queen's knight to e7. After Pragg castling kingside, Gazanov put his knight maneuver to f8. And then Pragg put his queen to c2. Now Gazanov attacked bishop, but the bishop retreat to h4, maintain an attack to the bishop, the knight, and the queen. Gazanov then pushes c6. In this position, Pragg pushes a4, start an attack on queen side, but Gazanov pushed a5 to prevent it. After that, f3, knight e6, rook a to d1, and then b6, preparing to develop like square bishop. In this position, Pragg moved his king to h1 and bishop b7, but this is not a good square for the bishop because it's blocked by his pawn. Then Pragg attacked the knight. After that, knight g5. Gazanov offers to trade the knight for the bishop, but this is not the best move. In this position, Pragg attacked on a4, and Gazanov attacked the bishop. And in this position, Pragnananda make a brilliant move. Can you find it? Yes, he sacrificed the bishop. After pawn take the bishop, he pushed e5 to attack the knight and attack the pawn at the same time. In this position, the best move for black is to put his king to h8, but Gazanov put his king to f7, and Pragg attacked the pawn, threatening checkmate. Therefore, Gazanov defend with his rook, and Pragg take the knight, attack the bishop. Bishop take the pawn, and then Pragnananda play another brilliant move. He sacrificed the knight. If pawn takes the knight, then queen b3. The king has to g7 to defend the rook, and after that, bishop takes knight, threatening to fork in the next move. So the bishop need to defend. After that, bishop takes bishop, queen take bishop, and pawn take on e4, threatening to forking on the next move and win a queen. If knight take on a4, then pawn takes the knight, bishop takes bishop, pawn takes pawn, and knight takes pawn. This is a very good position for white. Therefore, the knight is very dangerous. It opposes knight. So, the bishop retreat to e7, and then knight e2. Bishop attacks knight, but knight to retreat. Prepare to push a4 to win a piece. Therefore, Gazanov put his queen to d7, and Pragg attacked the knight. Knight to a6, but knight g4, threatening to forking and win the queen. Therefore, Gazanov put his queen to g7, and bishop attacked the king. King to h7, and after that, pawn to a5. The knight is attacked, so it back to f8, and after that, the bishop to e5. Pragg offers to trade the bishop. Elder Gazanov refused to take it. He opts to play bishop e7, and after that, pawn takes on g6, check. Rook takes pawn, and rook f7. Gazanov put his king to gx, but after that, Pragnananda take the pawn on h6. After this move, Elder Gazanov resigned. This position is checkmate in 11 move. If rook takes knight, then rook g7, check. The king has to move to h8. After that, queen b2, threatening checkmate by take the rook. Blacks can defend with queen e6, but after that, rook g6, open check. Now, the bishop has to f6. After that, queen takes rook. Knight defend the king, and rook take bishop. After queen take rook, bishop takes queen. The king ram, and then queen g7. This is checkmate.